All right. Well, today we're in our group this morning. We're reading Lasting Purpose, A Way of Life from Dr. Sid Williams. And this is such a poignant one. Week 3, there's Sid Williams with Vander Holyfield, that I thought we'd record it and share it. The first step towards establishing an achievement mindset, of course, is to learn to love, serve, and give out of our own abundance, just for the sake of doing it and for no other reason. You learn to love whatever you're doing, whether it's digging a ditch or adjusting a subluxation, just for its sake alone and for no other reason. And you learn to carry that love with you. This habit builds up your abundance of both love and persistency. You can find a great abundance of success legends in every country in the world, and a major ingredient for every one of those heroic stories is belief. What I'm telling you here is something you are not likely to learn anywhere else. And it is how to achieve that belief which will produce a vision and ultimately success. Once you maximize your desire and lock onto your goal with a made-up mind to achieve it, telling yourself with absolute authority, I can do it. I will do it. And until you firmly believe that you can, the ability to visualize will be developed. Then, in most cases, what you can visualize will become your reality. To borrow from Napoleon Hill, what the mind of a man can conceive and believe, the mind of man can achieve. Affirmation. I make it a habit to love, serve, and give out of my own abundance. I look for opportunities to let love through me. I am always happy when I give someone else help and encouragement. With whatever task I choose to tackle, I make it a habit to be persistent until the job is done. I never give up. Persistency is a firm habit. I persist. I do what needs to be done. I reach out and grab success. I persist. These are all in caps. I persist. I can feel success. I can see success. I am achieving success. I am achieving success right now, this moment. And when there's doubt, right, we don't believe it firmly yet in our heart. I'll do it tomorrow, or I'll do part of it now and I'll finish this other thing up later. We call that what? Procrastination. Exactly. And I've been a world-class procrastinator in my life. I'm Haig John. I have procrastinated. I'm not claiming to be it anymore. Because what that does is add 2 jobs or 3 jobs. Do it now, then you got to go back to it and blah, 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 which takes up our time. When we go and want to achieve something, whether it's finding a partner or finding a new job or success within our job or helping people realize that they need their subluxations adjusted or need a massage or whatever we need, finding that takes the step forward. Taking that one step forward, I want to make change in some way. If we just keep saying it and not doing it, what are we going to get? Nothing. Exactly. It takes the boldness, and you've heard me say it, and I say it over again, we have to have a mission bigger than our fear. If our mission's bigger than our fear, hey, you tell one person, I can help you, I'm a little scared. You know what? You get that one out of the way, whether it's a yes or a no, it doesn't matter. Okay? We've just overcome a fear. So stepping forward in ourselves and stepping over that threshold of fear and having our mission bigger than our fear, right? When I was in sales years ago, I had one of the sales managers said, you got to get hungry, boy. You got to get hungry. Do you have a family? I didn't have a family yet. I didn't have any debt besides school loans, and he said, boy, you got to get hungry. And it took me a long time to really understand what that meant. when you have a wife and kids or dogs and family and house and cars and blah, 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 you know what? Your mission's bigger than your fear. You got to feed them all. You got to feed yourself. I can live fairly meagerly. I don't need expensive food. I like, wholesome food that I make myself. But when it comes to I've got to buy shoes, I've got to buy this, that's one mission. Once we get past those basic needs, what is the mission? Is it bigger than that? For me, it's to, and if you know, my mission statement is to create a heavenly earth. And I've said the Lord's Prayer maybe tens of thousands of times in my life. As a child we say it, as an adult we say it. Why do we repeat it? Ultimately, we must not have thought that we could achieve it on earth as it is in heaven. Every day I work towards a heavenly earth. The things that I look at for myself, if I weigh everything against that mission statement. Is this working towards me helping create a heavenly earth? Even if I get something for myself, I'm nurturing myself a little bit and helps me do something maybe for someone else. Or step out and say, okay, I've got a little comfort, I have a little joy from this. I couldn't wait to watch the movie Dune. I just watched part 2 yesterday and I was so excited. And you know what? I said, I'm taking off this time for myself. I mean, I watched it in like 9 parts. My kids asked me 30 questions during it. I had no peace through the whole thing, but I got to enjoy it in my pieces and parts. Usually it's 15 times my kids come in and ask me questions. This time it was 9, okay? But I got to enjoy it. It brought me a little peace because it also brought me memories of reading Frank Herbert's books. And if you haven't read the books, you're not going to enjoy the movie as well, okay? The same thing when they made the movie with Sting and no one understood the movie. They had to put out pamphlets. You have to read the book or you might not get it. But I got a little joy out of that, right? So when I received that joy, plus, hanging out with my children, I had a great week and a great weekend. But that little bit of joy that I received and allowed into my life, I felt like I was shining brighter, and I am right now because that was just yesterday. I got a lot of fun out of it, and today I'm coming in to serve the world with a brighter light, and I feel that from within. Just a little thing, right? A, check mark, I got to do it, but B, I enjoyed it. I brought that joy within myself, and I had so much fun. It reminded me of all the people that in my life that we've talked about Dune, read the books, I'm part of sci-fi book reading clubs and stuff like that. Then I haven't read one in a long time. So it also inspired me to read a little bit of sci-fi again because it's a release, right? We step away from our regular world. That's the part. I very rarely read novels. And I just made a post today, I have seminar manuals and amazing stuff that I've had through the years, and those are my toys. I've been playing with them, reading all this old stuff, and it's poignant philosophy is where I've spent my time. And reading through that and having the memories of the people I spent time with there, from the servers, the mentors that I've had, it brought me peace and joy. I enjoyed something. Most people would look at that like, oh my gosh, that looks like so much work. To me, it was joy. But then I also did realize I haven't been reading like novels or something that take me out of the regular world for decades, really. I read Frank Herbert Dune. I must have been 18 or 19, quite honestly. And so bringing back a little joy in my own life. I'm looking for some new things to read, right? That are not necessarily philosophy, not just chiropractic philosophy, but deep metaphysical philosophy is what most of my seminars have been. And we also, share that with people now in our philosophy, in our seminars. But I wanted to read this, and this is our first podcast with video for our Nate podcast. So I'm excited for it. Thanks everybody for joining in, and thanks for being part of it. Awesome.